Hey cats, it's Ed Hufflepuff Bud here. It's time once again for running shoe yay or nay. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Click the bell below for notifications. Also really helps us out here at EDDBUD Running Shoe Reviews if you give this video a thumbs up like and share it with your running buddies. Muchas gracias. 4 shoes today. I'm going to explain whether I'll be picking them up or not for review. There could be a good reason why I don't really think that they'll make it into my rotation. Perhaps there's another shoe tuber out there that can do the shoe more justice. Let's get to it. Shoe number 1. First up is the ASICS Gel CUMULUS 24. I really enjoyed testing out the recent ASICS Gel Nimbus 24. That was a rather cushioned but very stable ride underfoot with some real premium vibes. It just spoke longevity and durability to me. So where does the CUMULUS 24 come in? We have more flight foam blast here as seen in the classic Nova Blast series. Lots of you love that shoe. I get so many runners telling me that they enjoy the Nova Blast. We can expect some welcome cushion in this daily mile destroyer. It certainly has some nods to the Nimbus 24, this one, doesn't it? What do you think? In terms of the upper design and the profile, along with the new outsole rubber compound too. ASICS Light is the new formula. Sounds like it could be a little bit sort of lighter. Joking aside, I think what they're trying to do here is cut back a little bit perhaps on the weight of the rubber, and that's a good thing to me. ASICS typically are beasts when it comes to durability. You basically never see any outsole wear on an ASICS shoe. Certainly ASICS high abrasion rubber just seems to be impervious to any sort of wear. We have an 8mm drop here and 286 grams or 10.1 ounces in the typical sample size. Gel in the heel and the forefoot. And this could be a potentially more affordable sort of daily use shoe when compared up to the Nimbus 24. Does seem to be a shade lighter than the Nimbus. There's not an awful lot in it though. Lots of interest and lots of comments from viewers for me to pick this one up, so I think it could present some good comparisons to the Nimbus 24 so we can understand where the two shoes fit in. So it's a yay from me for the Gel CUMULUS 24 from ASICS. Shoe 2. Jokingly, in a recent video I mentioned getting hold of a pair of the ADIDAS Yeezy Boost 350 V2s and trying to run in them. Lots of viewers have commented and said that they want me to do it, so let's run it through the yay or nay process. So the ADIDAS Yeezy Boost 350 V2 seems like quite a weighty shoe. I did find some info about the weight that suggested the V2 could be up to 385 grams in the sample sizes, so it's not far off the Ultra Boost really. In my size that's about 380 something. The prime knit upper on these shoes isn't all that different to the Ultra Boost models that you can readily get from Adidas. Unfortunately Yeezy models are much more difficult to come by. Looking at the shoe from a technical point of view, I think it's becoming less and less ridiculous as a suggestion really. In fact, the encapsulated nature of the Boost material in the Yeezy shoes is a little bit like we saw back in 2020 with the Boston 9 and also the ADIDAS Pro. I guess it could be a bit of a laugh and people will think I've lost my marbles a little bit, and I suppose I can use the shoe casually if it just doesn't really work out. But I'm only going to give this a yay if I can actually find one at a reasonable price. These seem to sell for about 250 Earth credits, so that's a lot of money to gamble on. It's not as if I'll be able to resell the shoe either after I've ran like 5 or 10k in it or something. So you sell at quite a high price. If I can find one that's a little bit cheaper, I might go for it. So a tentative yay on the ADIDAS Yeezy Boost 350 V2. Hope I don't regret this. Shoe 3. The Pegasus Trail series has become very popular since its launch, and we have a new 4th version of that shoe coming out very soon. Quite a weighty shoe, the Peg Trail 3, but it was superbly cushioned, very comfortable on top of the foot. Perhaps one that people picked up to do some walking or some hiking as well. Probably use it for all sorts of things really, the Peg Trail 3. It was a bit like a Swiss Army shoe. The 4th version appears quite the redesign with a new, more contoured midsole unit and this less toe protecting rubber in the forefoot of the shoe. Perhaps the biggest changes though we see in the Peg Trail 4 are in the outsole, and that was something that people really wanted them to change. Actually it was very slippery in wet conditions, the Peg Trail 3. Certainly that was the weak point of the shoe, and we have a very different lug pattern here on the Peg Trail 4. A lateral crash pad similar to that featured on the Pegasus 35 and 36. In fact, this shoe looks a little bit closer to the Pegasus 36 trail that started off the whole series. It does appear a Gore-Tex version is on the cards, just in time for that warmer summer weather. I might be tempted to try out the Peg Trail 4, but only if I can find out some information as to whether it's a little lighter than the previous one. The Peg Trail 3 was a little bit too heavy for my puny Skeletor-like frame. So for the time being, it's probably a nay for the moment until I can find out some more information on the Peg Trail 4. Such a great idea, you know, releasing a Gore-Tex shoe in July. Shoe 4. We all know Allbirds, the company who are hell-bent on producing the most sustainable running shoes in terms of carbon footprint production. The new Tree Flyer sees the company push the boat out even further, with a new design that showcases a lighter weight construction and a new midsole material to boot. In fact, it looks very similar to the recent collaboration that Allbirds did with ADIDAS. The midsole itself is said to be more responsive than the previous versions. I think they're trying to maximise the performance of this shoe to bring it in line with other sort of performance running shoes. Perhaps you can get a little bit more range out of it. For those improvements though, the shoe is considerably more expensive than some of the Allbirds shoes that came before it. 150 big ones over here in the UK, which may put off a few people from testing this one out. And I think one of those people could be me. That is a hefty price. You know, you can buy almost 3 pairs of Reebok Float Ride Energy 4s for that. I think that cost puts it a little bit out of reach to me as a bit of a novelty to try out. Sadly, I'd love to try out some more sustainable products and see what I can get out of them durability wise, but I think for a low range sort of easier day shoe, that's just too much for me to pay. Will it stand up to some of the regular models I've been testing out recently, things like the Pegasus 39 or the Puma Velocity Nitro 2? I just don't think we're quite there yet in terms of those sustainable products at a cost that people can go for. Keep having nightmares about the October energy price rises. I like the idea here, but it's a nay from me for the Allbirds Tree Flyer. That's all 4 shoes in today's yay or nay. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on those down in the comments. Musical interlude time. Now, I did cover this one a few weeks back when it first launched, but I'm really loving Jack White's new album. It's called Fear of the Dawn. After multiple listens, there's just so many little details in here that I'm really enjoying. Feels like it's been painstakingly put together. It almost seems like a whole series of paintings that have been made, and they all hang next to each other and they sort of play out a little story. The tracks are all so different as well. You've got buzzy, fuzzy guitars mixed in with some crushing drums. There's even some hip-hop vibes on Heidi Ho. That features the rapper Q-Tip. One of my favourites is called What's the Trick? It almost sounds like a song Rage Against the Machine could have written. The drums are almost sort of crushing, like there's a huge piece of metal smashing through a load of rubble and stones. You know, there's a lot of metal tracks out there that just aren't as heavy as this, and there's even almost dubstep style effects in the track The White Raven. Just more and more listens reveal more and more little secrets about this album. If you haven't gone and checked it out yet, do so very soon, guys. Fear of the Dawn by Jack White. Thanks for tuning in, people. It's always appreciated. I'll be back tomorrow with some more stuff for you. Hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications. Give this video a thumbs up, like, and share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you